When most shooters hear the phrase stopping power, their mind goes straight to tactical rifles. But here's the curveball. There are revolvers out there so powerful, so punishing, that they rival or even surpass some rifles. These aren't Saturday night snub-noses. These are purpose-built machines, engineered with decades of ballistic science to manage cartridges designed for dangerous game. Cartridges that could put down a charging elephant or smash through heavy barriers without hesitation. Tonight, we're stepping into that world, the arena where wheel guns flex more muscle than many long guns. These revolvers aren't about compromise. They're about overwhelming force, delivered in a handheld package. Colt Anaconda. Let's start with the Colt Anaconda. This revolver doesn't just carry on Colt's legendary snake gun heritage, it elevates it. The Anaconda is a statement piece of American engineering. With a sticker price hovering around $1,500, it's not aimed at casual buyers. This is a revolver designed for shooters who demand serious performance wrapped in timeless Colt craftsmanship. It rides on Colt's reinforced I-frame. Every piece is cut from stainless steel, machined with precision that makes it as durable as it is striking. Chambered in the mighty .44 Magnum, the Anaconda unleashes a 240-grain slug at about 1,280 feet per second. That translates to over 740 foot-pounds of muzzle energy. Enough punch to anchor a grizzly or rip through automotive glass with authority. The 6-inch barrel hits the sweet spot long enough to milk velocity, short enough to remain maneuverable. Colt adds an underbarrel lug that protects and reinforces the ejector rod, giving the cylinder lock-up extra strength under heavy use. When you touch off full-house .44 Magnum loads in the Anaconda, you feel that blend of old-school power and modern precision. It's a revolver built to dominate the big-bore arena. Ruger Super Redhawk Alaskan. Last in this set, we head north to Alaska. When you're walking through bear country, sidearms aren't accessories, they're lifelines. And that's where the Ruger Super Redhawk Alaskan comes in. This revolver is built to dump fight-stopping energy at close range, and it's chambered in .454 Castle. The sticker price sits near $1,569, and what you get is a compact brute with a 2.5-inch barrel. That short tube launches a 250-grain slug at about 1,225 feet per second. That translates into nearly 1,466 foot-pounds of punch, enough to chew through both walls of an engine block. The blast is fierce, expect a massive fireball and a shockwave with every shot. But Ruger tames it with a Hogue Tamir grip that soaks up recoil, plus an adjustable rear sight so you can still get precise hits. This is the gun Alaska wildlife officers trust when they might be staring down a charging grizzly at arm's length. Colt Python. Now let's talk about the legend, the Colt Python. When shooters think of revolver craftsmanship, this name sits right at the top. Price is around $1,500, but you're paying for precision that no factory .357 Magnum wheelgun has ever matched. With a 6-inch barrel, it can send a 125-grain hollow point at about 1,450 feet per second, making over 580 foot-pounds of energy. On paper, that doesn't stack against the hunting Magnums, but the Python wins in refinement. The ventilated rib helps keep the barrel steady. The hammer and trigger are tuned so that single-action breaks at a crisp 4.5 pounds. It's balanced, accurate, and for self-defense it has something rifles can't deliver: the intimidation factor of a bright stainless Python pointed in your direction. Freedom Arms Model 83. Now let's step into the world of precision revolvers with the Freedom Arms Model 83. This wheelgun is widely considered the peak of American craftsmanship. Sticker price sits just shy of $3,000, $2,994 to be exact. It's not just another revolver. Think of it as a finely tuned instrument, built to deliver rifle-like accuracy in a handgun frame. Chambered in .454 Castle, the Model 83 with its 4.75-inch barrel can drive a 300-grain bullet at 1,625 feet per second. That's laying down about 1,750 foot-pounds of energy at the muzzle. Accuracy is where it truly shines. We're talking sub-2-inch groups at 50 yards, shot after shot. That precision comes from hand-fitted lockwork and perfect barrel-to-cylinder timing, the kind of detail only Freedom Arms puts into their revolvers. This revolver's reputation is built on consistency, reliability, and surgical accuracy. It's the kind of piece serious shooters call a lifetime gun. Taurus Raging Hunter 460. Let's kick things off with the Taurus Raging Hunter 460. This wheel gun isn't just a big revolver, it's basically a portable hunting rig dressed up as a handgun. You're looking at Brazilian steel wrapped around one of the hardest-hitting American cartridges ever made, the 460 S&W Magnum. Retail sits right around $1,269, which is a lot of horsepower for that price point. Now, performance. A 200-grain slug leaves the 10.5-inch barrel screaming at 2,330 feet per second. That's delivering close to 2,400 foot-pounds of energy at the muzzle. To put that in perspective, that's more than a classic 30-30 Winchester rifle, yet you're holding it in a revolver that weighs 4 pounds 7 ounces. The frame is massive, with a cylinder nearly 2 inches wide, and Taurus includes a dual-stage brake that knocks recoil down about 30%. And here's the kicker, it's not limited to one round. This gun can chamber 460S and W Magnum, 454 Casol, and 45 Colt. That's 3 different power levels out of a single revolver. Magnum Research BFR. Next, we move to the Magnum Research BFR. And yes, that stands for Biggest, Finest Revolver. The name fits because this thing doesn't just dabble in handgun power, it jumps straight into rifle territory. Price starts around $1,300, and what you're buying is a revolver chambered for full-power rifle rounds. This particular model is cut for 45-70 government. That means it can sling a 405-grain slug at 1,330 feet per second. Energy on target? Roughly 1,590 foot-pounds. The BFR is not just about power. It's engineered to endure the insane pressures of rifle cartridges, with a stainless steel frame built like a tank. And let's be honest, when somebody sees that cylinder and realizes it's running a rifle round, the intimidation factor is through the roof. It's a revolver that leaves no doubt about what it can do. Nighthawk, Custom, Korth, NXS. Now we move to something completely different, the Nighthawk Custom Korth NXS. This revolver is the definition of elite craftsmanship. It's the product of German engineering from Korth, refined and distributed in America by Nighthawk Custom. Price tag? Right around $5,100. And every cent goes into making one of the smoothest, most advanced revolvers ever built. The NXS is chambered in .357 Magnum. Its frame wears a diamond-like carbon finish, which makes it exceptionally resistant to wear. Mated to that is a stainless barrel that delivers surgical precision. We're talking about 2-inch groups at 50 yards when fed quality ammunition. The cylinder carries 8 rounds. That's a 33% bump in firepower over the traditional 6-gun. The 4-inch barrel keeps things balanced fast out of the holster, yet long enough to stabilize Magnum loads. Weight sits at about 44 ounces. That heft is deliberate, soaking up recoil so the shooter can run full-power .357 loads with control. Inside, Korth's roller-bearing trigger system is tuned like no other. Single action breaks clean at 3 pounds. Double action glides with smooth, predictable pull. The NXS isn't just a revolver, it's a precision instrument. A blend of German mechanics and American demand for power that redefines what a wheel gun can be. Smith & Wesson Model 500. And here it is, the king of revolvers, the Smith & Wesson Model 500. This is not just the most powerful production revolver in existence. It's the very definition of ballistic dominance. Price point comes in around $1,569, and every cent goes into one thing: raw, unmatched power. Chambered in 500 S&W Magnum, this revolver launches a 350-grain bullet at 1,975 feet per second. That hits with a staggering 3,030 foot-pounds of muzzle energy. To put that into perspective, that's more energy than a .30-06 Springfield rifle, and you're firing it from a handgun. Smith & Wesson had to build an entirely new frame for it, the massive X-frame, along with advanced metallurgy just to contain that force. The barrel features a compensator to help tame recoil, but the muzzle blast is still legendary. Stand 50 feet away, and you'll feel the concussion in your chest. Even with all that power, the accuracy holds. It's not just a hand cannon, it's a precision hunting tool. These 8 revolvers sit at the top of handgun engineering. Each one brings more than raw numbers on paper. They deliver confidence, presence, and a psychological edge that no long gun can replicate. So the question is, if you could add just one of these monsters to your collection, which one would it be? Drop your answer in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned. Next up, we'll break down the most powerful hunting cartridges ever developed, including the ones deemed too extreme for civilian use.